Welcome to Snoozy Worthy, a podcast by Parenting Practice of Colorado, your window into the world of pediatric sleep, where we explore the science behind sweet dreams, effective sleep teaching techniques, and all the intriguing nuances of your child's slumber. I'm your host, Lindsay Birchfield.
And I'm Paige Legault. Together, we're here to guide you through the labyrinth of parenting, offering insights, strategies, and science-backed advice to make parenting during those early childhood years not just manageable, but truly memorable.
As pediatric sleep specialists, we've seen the transformational power of sleep in countless families.
And because parenting is a journey, we won't stop at sleep. We'll provide you with valuable parenting tips for every aspect of early childhood, from managing tantrums to fostering creativity and hitting those all-important milestones.
So whether you're a seasoned parent in need of a sleep overhaul or a new parent preparing for the joys and challenges of early childhood, Snoozy Worthy is your trusted resource. Join us as we unravel the science of sleep, share practical advice, and make parenting truly snooze worthy. Hey everybody, and welcome to Snoozy Worthy. So on today's episode, we're going to be diving into sleep regressions. I'm Lindsay Birchfield, and I'm here with my partner and my friend and a fellow pediatric sleep specialist, Paige Legault.
Hello.
And as I mentioned today, we're going to be diving into the hows, the whys, and what the heck of sleep regressions, along with the science-backed strategies to help you navigate these potentially very challenging times.
Yeah, that's right, Lindsay. Sleep regressions can be tough for both babies and parents alike, but understanding the reasons behind the sleep regressions and then knowing how to manage them so they don't last months.
Right.
They shouldn't last months, you guys. It can make a big world of a difference.
Yeah. So let's start by unraveling the mystery behind sleep regressions. So many parents experience these periods when their baby's sleep just suddenly becomes disrupted, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they were sleeping very well, and then all of a sudden they're just waking up all night long, and it can leave you feeling very much confused and very exhausted, right?
Yes.
And so the why of sleep regressions can be multifaceted, okay? It can range from just hitting a developmental milestone. We often see regressions, let's say, when a baby learns how to roll, right? Or teething, or even changes in routine or environment can cause disruption or regression. It's like our little ones are taking one step forward and then two steps back on their sleep progress, oftentimes, right?
Mm-hmm. And then the WTF moments of when you think you've got it down, you've figured it all out, and then boom, they're up again at 2 a.m. Those are when you find yourself questioning everything. You'll go through your list. We've all got them. Temperature, clothing, teething, medications, right? Are they sick? They did sniffle a few times today, so... But ultimately, it's a little bit of a roller coaster until you have the tools that you need and the understanding of what's going on.
Absolutely. So with that being said, let's dive a little bit into the science behind sleep regressions. And while the term regression might sound like alarming, it's actually a very normal and expected part of childhood development, okay?
Yeah.
So a sleep regression is essentially a temporary disruption in a child's sleep pattern. So it's often characterized by increased night wakings, maybe shorter naps, difficulty settling to sleep, maybe waking up more frequently. It's just kind of like their little brains are going through a growth spurt, okay? And unfortunately, sleep is the casualty of all of that. So understanding these periods are natural part of your child's development, I think can kind of help, right? Can alleviate some of the stress and anxiety that often parents feel around some of these sleep regressions.
Yeah. So what are our tips that we get asked all the time around how to handle any sleep regression at any age? So tip number 1 would be to have a good strategy to help weather that storm, right?
Right. Yep.
So making sure you and your partner are on the same page and what is the protocol when and if they do wake up. And then also taking into consideration where they are at developmentally.
Yeah.
Because there are 2 big ones. Well, really the only actual scientific regressions are 4-month and 18 months. So let's talk about that 4-month sleep regression real quick. So that way you can understand it a little bit better. So at 4 months of age, there's 2 big developmental milestones that go on. One is gross motor. Lindsay, you touched on it earlier. Rolling over, finding hands, finding feet, strength along that neck, right? And core. Great stuff, but also a disruption. And the other thing that happens that I find that no one knows about, right, is their sleep pattern changes.
Yep.
They go from having stage 3, which is deep sleep, and non-REM, and then they have stage 4 of actual REM.
Right.
Through infancy. And that's confusing because infants are noisy and they move a lot, right? They sneak out of that swaddle. They end up scooched to the side. They get all over the place, right? And they're little dinosaurs while they're chatting away. But that leads people to think that they spend most of their time in light or active sleep, and it's simply not even possible in their brain development. It's not possible. And the reason why they don't go into full paralysis in stage 3 and stage 4 of sleep is simply to protect that airway. And that's also why they're making a lot of noises to, again, protect that airway, right? So once they hit 4 months, right, they get those 2 other stages. Stage 1, active and then light, or light and then active, and then deep, and then REM. So what typically happens at this point is parents are using some sort of prop, or they're transferring, meaning baby nurses to sleep on the breast, they fall asleep, and then I lay them down and they sleep beautifully. And then the next day I go to do it, doesn't work.
What?
They feel that transition because they are in light sleep. So when their environment changes, their body goes, I'm not safe. Something's changed. Wake up, right? They can smell you. They can hear you. They can feel you. They can sense where they are. Okay. So transferring stops working, props stop working, and then we get overtired babies, sleep debt raises, and then you have the true regression of where multiple nighttime wake ups occur. It takes forever to get them to go down. They don't stay down. And then everyone gets really tired, right?
Yep.
So with that 4-month sleep regression, remember that it's often tied to significant developmental changes. I mean, that's literally what it is.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure, if you're in that stage of infancy, right, still in your 4th trimester, and you haven't hit the 4-month sleep regression, start to practice putting baby down awake. Not drowsy, awake.
I know that we hear that a lot, but no, awake. Fully awake.
Yeah, and then sit and stay and support and love on them and help them into that sleep. So that way you can navigate this transition more smoothly when they hit the 4-month sleep regression. I know personally for all 3 of our children, there was no regression.
No.
I mean, Maddie woke up one time for 2 minutes and put herself back to sleep the day she turned 4 months old. And I was like, cool, you got it.
You got a girl.
Right? Yeah. She did great.
Yep.
So the 18-month sleep regression is essentially, again, another developmental change. 1, they're turning into a toddler. This is a big one, folks.
This is a huge one if you haven't experienced.
Yeah, buckle up.
Love those toddlers.
But they turn into a toddler. So they have autonomy at this point, which means they're seeking out independence, control, and they realize that they have opinions and desires, and they want to showcase it, right? And then the other thing that's going on is a massive language development, right? So they are trying to communicate their needs, their wants, their desires with us. And some kids aren't quite there yet. Some kids are really advanced. So this can just be a frustrating phase overall for those big behaviors. So what will actually end up happening with sleep at this period is when they have a sleep cycle ending and a new one beginning, their brain will go, wait, I really need to practice Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Now's the perfect opportunity to do
2 a.m.
it.
Twinkle, twinkle, right?
So they will wake up fully to meet the need to practice that developing language or even the gross motor skills. Jumping, walking backwards, running. So again, another big gross motor development. So you might see on your monitor a little Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star party going on where they're singing, moving their body. And if you just let it ride, you guys.
Let them enjoy.
Right? Record it, laugh.
Yeah.
Take that to the, your memory bank and go back to sleep. They will go back to sleep, right?
Yeah.
So that one is my favorite simply because it's adorable.
Yeah, it's cute.
It is cute. And there's nothing you have to do.
Well, right. You can just look at your monitor and just smile as they sing the cute little Twinkle Twinkle.
And say, look, babe, they're singing. Right? And so if they're not actively crying and they're not actively seeking you out for anything, they're simply practicing a skill. Let it ride.
Yeah.
Leave them be. They're good.
They are, yeah. And just remember, right, consistency is totally key. And patience, unfortunately, I know it's hard for everybody, but it's your friend during these challenging times, all right?
Yeah.
So lean on your support network. Don't be afraid to ask for help,
Yeah.
right, when you need it. And then just stick to your consistent routine, okay? Stick to your schedule, stick down to your lay down process for naps and nights. And your little toddler will get back on track.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah.
Don't panic, please.
Mhm.
It's hard not to.
It is.
Well, that's our episode for today, you guys. Short and sweet. If you have questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to reach out to us. We're both so happy that you're here to join our Snooze Worthy podcast, and we'll see you next time with our next episode.